Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. One of my favorite things to do in life when I have spare time, when I'm not really doing anything, like when my day is like clear and I don't really have anything planned at all, or if I'm in a pinch or I have, a little bit of time here or there, I do this thing in both occasions. And it's one of my favorite things to do, like ever. And I always do it, and I always say I can't. I shouldn't. It's not great for me or for anybody. And that is snack. Man, I love snacking. Not just like unhealthy foods of snacking, even healthy as well. Like I will, if I have like cut up fruit in a bowl that is meant for my family and myself, I will eat so much of that in one sitting because I just cannot stop. Snacking is like my number one thing that I do all the time. And I've tried to get better at it, but it's hard when you're a person like me that likes to overindulge in whatever they are snacking in. It's hard for me to actually rile it back and control myself. At least for me, because like I said, I love snacking. I love huge quantities of food. I feel like that is like how I, in a way, operate. Like kings usually are people that are able to have access to plentiful quantities of food. And I am not a king, but I have like very kingly like instincts that kick in. Like I will eat this entire bowl of watermelon. I will eat this entire bowl of cantaloupe or pineapple or this whole bag of chips because I am feeling kingly and I want to. It just sort of overcomes me. And it's a big problem because I understand that for me, a lot of times it's with fruit. And I know that fruit is good for you, right? It's natural. It's got natural sugars that your body need, but maybe not as much as I consume. I feel like whenever I have too much fruit, I'm always like battling in my mind, like this is good for me. This is fine. This is what I'm supposed to be eating, not candy, not sweets like that, not cookies, not cake. It's fruit. This is fine. I'm okay. I am more than okay. I'm eating healthy. And then you're like, you kind of Google how much you should be eating of fruit, and it's a lot less than what I'm consuming in that moment. And it's because of my love for snacking is just so strong and so powerful that I don't just go to the fruit bowl one time a day. I usually hit it a couple times and keep going, even though I am like, you know what? I'm satisfied. I'm fine. I'll be like, nope, I need to get more. I think it's because it's sugar, and sugar is addicting. And I got a big problem with that. That's the one thing, too, is with these snack foods. They either have sugar or they have salt. Both are more fats. Both pretty addicting. Things that we consume on a day-to-day basis. That way, if you're not careful, you will overeat and you will feel the repercussions of all that. I used to be a huge chip guy before I lost a ton of weight. Big chip guy. And I've sort of been able to curb that craving because once I started to lose weight and I kind of cut out like a lot of chips, I still eat chips from time to time, not as much as I used to, but I will tend to have more of a craving for sugar more than anything else. Like a few chips will be all right and I'll be good. I won't need any more. I won't need to eat the entire bag or a lot of the bag like I used to. Just like a handful is cool, and that's like a serving size. Um, but I have started to sort of switch to like these baked chips. Like I was at a gas station today and I saw these baked flamin' hot Cheetos with limon. And I had those before and those are pretty good. I cannot lie. They're not bad. They're a better alternative. They're not like the best thing you could possibly eat because they still have like, I think like one bag was like 380 calories, like a little, not like an entire big bag, but like a snack size like lunch bag, right? It was like 380 calories. And I was like, dang, like this ain't terrible, but like it's still not great for me. But it's healthier. It's got 50% less fat than the regular Cheetos. So I'm like, you know what? In my mind, I'm like, before I even crack it open, pop it open, I'm like, I'm eat like maybe like a quarter of this, call it a day. Crumple it up, save it for the next day. No, I ate the whole damn thing. I ate the whole thing. I'm a human being. I make mistakes from time to time, but it was good. It was worth it, in my opinion. If it was delicious in a way. I don't get to eat chips all that often because I don't have them with my meals like I used to. But those chips were unbelievable, as I remember, I was also reading a thing that I think it was trans fat I think it's trans fat. But back in the day when stuff was made with trans fat, I think now a lot of things don't have any trans fat in them. But trans fat would, I guess, like make the food taste better and make you hungrier, which is absolutely wild to think about. Not only are they making it to make it taste better, to cook it to make the food whatever it is in the first place, but they're also putting in a chemical and an ingredient to make you want to eat more. Isn't that wild? That's just insane to me. I feel like that's like almost like just like, playing with your brain, like kind of abusing your appetite at that point. And it's kind of the same way with diet sodas. I think aspartame. I think aspartame is it does that too. I'm looking it up right now because I know some people that drink a lot of diet soda. This is an AI overview. It says some studies have suggested that aspartame may increase hunger or food intake. For example, one study found that participants who consume aspartame sweetened beverages reported feeling more hungry and consumed more calories later that day. So that's wild. Those are in like diet sodas. I'm pretty sure those are in the zero sugar sodas as well. But that's crazy just to think about. Like something is straight up put in your drink to make it have less or zero sugar, but also at the same time making you hungrier and causing you to eat more. So they'll get you one way or another on getting big, getting fat, wanting you to get fat. Unfortunately, as great as this country is, as beautiful as it is, I should say, and freeing it is, a lot of things that we have in our leisure that we partake from day to day are a way to make you a dollar sign for other industries. Like candy is, I've said this before, candy is year-round celebrated and connected to multiple holidays. And, Christmas, Halloween, Easter, Valentine's, all, in a way, candy is like a big part of those holidays. Like it's like not a huge part, but like a connecting piece of the puzzle when you put together to like describe those holidays. they always are like revolving around like candy, whether it be like actual candy bars, like mini candies like Kisses or Rolos or something like that, stuff like that. They're always a part of it. And you just have to admit that, that's a way for the dental hygienists, the dental industry to make money. Why do we have these holidays where we celebrate with, so much bad food? Why is fast food bad in the first place? Is it because it's cheap to be made? And that also, in a way, has a lot of bad stuff in it. Therefore, people are going to overeat, people are going to overindulge, people have to go to the doctors because of that reason. It's all a cycle, how the money gets made. Truly is smart if you think about it. It's a smart way to do business, but it doesn't mean it's the right way, at least in my opinion. No one's health should be abused to make money, I think. I think it's incredibly strange for that to be I wouldn't say it's like a known practice in America, like they're out willingly doing it. They probably don't have those intentions, but hey, it is kind of it is kind of, when you look at it, when you see it, you're like, something seems fishy here, man. Something seems very, very, very fishy, the way it all is coming together. And when you look at it from a distance and you see the whole picture, you're like, holy cow, what is actually going on here? But we got to make money. We have to live. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, work has to be done. But also, we shouldn't be slobs either. We have to not just, surrender to what we eat and what we live off of. We have to also balance it out. And by the way, we also should not be eating like all that bad food every single meal of the day, every single day. That's not how it should. That's like not the way it was intended to be viewed. It was like fast food was like a way to like a cheap out. Like if you couldn't make dinner, you could just always go to McDonald's or something like that and just grab a quick meal. Fast meal that's not super expensive, feed your family, and then move on. It's not meant to be a lifestyle, even though I'm actually getting, hear me out. My YouTube algorithm is all about food right now. A lot of it is about food. I've been getting things from mukbangs to eating the menu to can I survive a week on this or that? Can I eat only this for a week? I mean, I've been getting so many things revolving around food and so much content. And by the way, this content gets tons and tons of views every single week. To make me think that, should I try this? Should I actually become a food YouTuber and try to do what these guys are doing? Get a piece of that action? Probably not. Honestly, right now I don't have the time or I mean, I love fast food, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I feel like I'm a bit older than those people are, and I don't really want to mess with my health or put my whole body into shock just for some clicks that might not even, hit and might not strike gold. I might not be able to find my way into the algorithm, even though I'm doing exactly what the algorithm is promoting. It might not even happen with me. I'm just one man doing the same thing. Who's to say that I'm chosen by the YouTube gods to be put into that algorithm and I get a boatload of money? Probably not going to happen if I'm being completely honest. But I have seen these videos. They're crazy. Some of them are like, some examples like, I ate all this in one sitting, or I ate this for the entire week. And every single time, you think like you click on these videos, like they're probably going to be like, this is cool for the first day, and the next days are going to be hell. And it's always that, within the during the week of this so-called video challenge. And I'm like, you know what? I enjoy fast food, every once in a while. But my brain wants it every single day. But in reality, I'm like, I'll get it like maybe once every couple weeks, depending on like what situation I'm in. And I just know that I've had experiences with fast food where I would eat it and my body reacts in a negative way. Not like I'm in pain or I'm dying, but I don't feel as energized as I would if I ate something that's more healthier. Um, as you guys know, I'm on like a pretty health kick for lunches. I just eat chicken, rice, and vegetables. Usually for dinner, I have like some kind of protein based meal with maybe some rice or something like that, and that's about it. Usually for breakfast is not much. I don't really have time to eat breakfast, and when I do, I just kind of wait until lunch. Usually just like a cup of coffee, and I'll have a few snacks here and there. I'll have some fruit. I'll have some crackers, some cheese on the side, but nothing bad really. I'm not eating anything bad like during the day. So I feel like the last time I had fast food, it was kind of just like a shock to my entire system. I just felt slow and tired and sluggish and pretty heavy, I'll be honest, even though it's just like one meal. And you're like, whoa, I feel like I weigh a lot, you know? I can only imagine how you would feel after only eating that for like an entire week. Because I've seen the videos. I've seen like really strong people, switch up their diets for a week to fast food only. And don't get me wrong, it's interesting as hell. And they still continue to work out. And it's like, maybe I should do that. But I don't know, because they never really feel like it's worth it in the end. Like, it was a cool experiment, but why would you do it again? I don't know. It's just like right now, I also don't really have the motivation to, even at this point in my life, like, I don't even want to go and drive to get fast food. I would just rather stay at home and make something cool, I'll make something that's good here that I don't have to go out and buy, Even I'll go to the store and buy like a steak or something like that, or buy some chicken and be like, this is all I'm gonna have today. This is cool. I'll make some good ass chicken. Maybe I'll make it in a quesadilla or a sandwich, or strip it up and make it like that. I don't have to go get fast food anymore, because when you grow up, when you are exposed to good meals, when you actually have the time to make good food that's good for you, and you feel how good it makes you feel, you honestly don't really want to get fast food. You want to get it for the taste of it and like how it makes you feel in that one split second when you're devouring it. Ooh, it tastes so good. It tastes really good. But it doesn't leave you feeling good at all. Like any place you can think of, McDonald's, Taco Bell, they don't make you feel good. At least in my opinion, they make me feel slow and groggy and heavy, and like, nah, it's fine. I mean, like, I've also kind of like just, looked at the progress that I've made in weight loss, and I'm like, do I really, really, really want to go back to just, even if it's for a week, badly, just to see if I could possibly strike gold with this so-called algorithm? I'm like, nah, that wouldn't make me happy. It'd be like a chore. That to me feels like it would be a chore. Something I don't want to do. If I wanted to do it, I would do it already. I would have done it by now, and try to make some cash on that. But I'm not going to. Food reviewing is another thing, though. Like, I was talking about like eating that shit for a week and a lifestyle, and documenting it and being like throwing it online and be like, well, this is what YouTube is promoting me. What if I try to do this? But I've also seen food reviewers, and that has always interested me, because for one, I love food, and I want to see what these people think about food items that I've had in the past, even some new food items from fast food places, from other restaurants, that maybe in the once in a blue moon, I'll drive down to one of them and be like, hey, this guy thought that this was good. Maybe I'll check it out just to see if he's bullshitting or not. But then again, these chain restaurants, these fast food restaurants release and then unrelease and then discontinue so many things that I see online that I just don't have the time to go get it in that time period. And it's just a form of entertainment, in a way. So I don't really have any, true passion for committing to food content creation. I feel like is, I don't want to take something that I enjoy, like, in leisure, like food, just like eating food and like documenting it and then making it and monetizing it. I know that seems like kind of stupid, because why would you not want to do something that you like that you can monetize? But also, food is like, it's not just something that you like, it's something that we need to do. And if we need to eat to survive. And also, it directly impacts your health. So in a way, it's like, yeah, I would love to eat like 20 burgers in a week, but is that good for me? Oh, absolutely not. It's not. Like, I should not be doing that. So, you kind of have these, the battles of what, you can and can't do and what you should and shouldn't do. It's like that whole, you know, line from Dr. Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park. I've said this before. Your doctors could do it, so they did do it, but they didn't ask themselves if they should do it. I paraphrase that line, but that's like the gist of it. Speaking of Jurassic Park, yesterday we got the first trailer for the new movie Jurassic World Rebirth, starring Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali in a new adventure coming from Universal Pictures, Jurassic World Rebirth. I want to bring up the synopsis real quick. 5 years post Jurassic World Dominion and Expedition braves isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from 3 massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. Okay. Movie is directed by Gareth Edwards, and written by David Koepp, who has, let me see real quick. David Koepp has written, what has he written? Let's see. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Not good. Not a good resume on there. Oof. He's written a couple video games. He's written Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He has written, let's see, one of the writers on War of the Worlds. So a pretty, not the best resume, but hey, I mean, he's familiar with Jurassic, so maybe it'll be decent. Maybe it'll be all right. But the trailer came out, and I honestly did not know what to expect from this, because at this point, with Jurassic World / Park, the franchise, you can literally do anything that you want. As long as it has dinosaurs, you can call it Jurassic Park. Right? You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can do whatever, not call it, but you can do whatever you want with it. You can have it anywhere. You could have anyone in it. As long as there is dinosaurs in the movie, you can technically call it Jurassic Park, and it be a form of entertainment, right? I mean, Jurassic World was on the island. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was like maybe 20 minutes on the island. Jurassic Park Dominion was not on the island at all, and they were all called Jurassic World. Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. None of them actually taking place in Jurassic World, except for the first one and some of the second one. So, in all 3 Jurassic Park movies, all take place in a location near or by Jurassic Park. It's a franchise. It's just a title. But they all have dinosaurs in them. The third one, Dominion, had dinosaurs in the Arctic, or in like the mountains of Canada. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it wasn't near or anywhere in the location, like a familiar location of Jurassic Park. So this trailer comes out, and already I'm thinking like, what could they possibly do? What? The odds are up against these fools on what they have to do or what they're undertaking right here. The way the third movie of the Jurassic World series ended, it was a terrible movie for one, but it ended it in a way where it's like, okay, I mean, it left it sort of open for dinosaur stuff, like dinosaur, more like stuff to see where the dinosaurs are, but like the dinosaurs are not like the main character of the movie. You don't follow. I mean, I guess you kind of do watch Jurassic Park for the dinosaurs, but like a sane person is not going to be able to watch an entire film and find just total enjoyment just by seeing dinosaurs just be dinosaurs. You have to have that human story, the characters in it that propel the story. That way you see more dinosaurs and put the humans in scenarios where there's abundancy of dinosaurs and like dinosaurs that want to eat them, So the premise of in this movie that they're going to an island in the equator to get DNA samples from 3 massive dinosaurs, like an expedition, like a private, expedition to go to this dangerous place to go get samples of DNA from 3 massive dinosaurs, which ensues danger. It's going to make it a dangerous mission, which I like. I like the smallness, the compact of the story. It's not like a grand sweeping story. It's compact, it's nice, it's not too big. It's like a small team. I enjoy that, the intimacy of it. It's not like a gigantic blockbuster type of vibe that I get so far with this movie. Even though it's a big franchise, it seems like it's going a little bit smaller, which is good for multiple reasons. One being budget. The budget should not be as big, at least from this trailer. I mean, there's some CGI for sure, but it seems like in terms of like where they're shooting and what's going around, there isn't a whole lot of explosions that I've seen so far. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a super, super highly budgeted movie in terms of effects and locations. All seems to be located in like one location, so that's not terrible. I enjoy that they're kind of going towards, I wouldn't say horror, but like more of a suspense-driven, suspenseful story than the previous Jurassic Worlds. Jurassic World was a commercial, very kid-friendly movie about like a rediscovery of what made Jurassic Park good for like the first 30 minutes. And then after that, it went to like this crazy mutated monster movie. This one seems like it's going to be more of characters in immediate danger. They know that they're going to go to they know that they're going to be in danger, and it's going to be like not edge of your seat, but like a more suspenseful, potentially horrific movie where people will probably die in this movie, or at least get badly injured. Maybe because this is according to the trailer, this is like the island that they're going to is one of the test islands where they created the dinosaurs and brought them from there to Jurassic Park. That's an interesting angle, for sure. I think that's pretty cool. So that means that there's the top G's of the dinosaurs are going to be there, all the biggest and baddest dinosaurs. So that even leads to more of it could be more of a scarier type movie. And when I watched the trailer, I'm like, this is totally not aimed for kids whatsoever. Like Jurassic World totally was aimed at kids in that trailer. Totally. The tone of it and everything. It also was sort of a remake of Jurassic Park. Park is open. Well, the only thing is that the park was open to the public. But park is open. They're showing off dinosaurs. Shit goes down and dinosaurs escape. Yada, yada, yada. You know the thing. This is completely different, which I admire and I appreciate. However, what I saw, while it was interesting, it looked pretty cool, I don't really know. I mean, I can't really get a gauge if this is going to be good or not. I mean, it's the first trailer, but still, like I don't know. I just don't really got a good grasp on it. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. It looks pretty cool. I like the characters. I like the actors in it, but I just don't know like if I want to go back really to watch this story. I appreciate that it's a new story though. Like it's brand new. It's like it's almost kind of like The Lost World. Like a team is going to an island to research dinosaurs. In a way, it's kind of like that. But also, I mean, this one, the new one, is like the whole spin is to collect DNA from the biggest and baddest dinosaurs. So that means they're going to have to be able to put these dinosaurs on the ground and extract DNA. Whether that be killing them, putting them to sleep. All I know is that they're gonna have to get up close and personal with these beasts, and be able to do the job. So I mean, it looks cool. I can't lie, it looks cool. I see dinosaurs, I'm like, yeah, I want to see that shit. But at the same time, I don't think I don't think that the story is going to be, from what I've seen in the trailer, is going to be all that appealing for me as a 31-year-old man to watch this and actually spend money and buy a ticket to watch this in theaters. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I just don't. I don't see a good selling point yet in it. I mean, I could be completely wrong. When another trailer comes out, it might surprise me more. But I just feel like at this moment, I'm like, this looks cool. It looks all right. I mean, I enjoy the new take on it, the new premise. The characters look interesting. But I don't know if this is going to be enough for me to send me to the theater just yet. And that's kind of where I'm at right now with this whole Jurassic World Rebirth. And it said in the trailer, a new era. So there's going to be more of these things. So I'm guessing like this one's going to be like, you know, if they keep Scarlett Johansson, which they should. I mean, she's going to be the star power for this new era / franchise of the IP. There's going to be more of her in it. I mean, what other stories could they possibly tell? I mean, you know, this is getting DNA, you know, from these big bad dinosaurs to save humanity is, you know, a crazy premise. But once you complete it in this movie, if they do or not, I mean, if they do complete it, then the job is done. If they don't complete it, they move on to movie 2, movie 3. Is that going to be the plot for this entire new era? Possibly trilogy? Is it going to be enough? I don't know. I really don't know. The story to me is just not strong enough. I'm getting the sense of the story is just kind of mid. Like there isn't too much there for me to be like, is there going to be enough to make this movie good? I don't know. I really don't know at this point. Moving on to another movie trailer that came out the day before, actually. Fantastic Four, First Steps. Fantastic Four. Marvel Studios' The Fantastic Four First Steps. What do I think of this movie? Comes out July 25th, 2025. So does Jurassic World Rebirth. So does Superman. Weeks apart. What do I think of this one? Well, it ain't going to be very good. I can tell you that right now. First of all, I'm not a huge fan of the Fantastic Four. I watched the earlier movies when I was a kid, the first ones with Chris Evans and Jessica Alba. I watched those, both of those. I enjoyed them quite a bit, but I was a kid when I watched them. I even liked the second one, even when I was a kid. I haven't seen them since. So I don't know if they're still good, if they're still considered cinema, if they're worth watching. I don't know. I did not see the reboot with Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan. Did not see that one. And now we have this one coming out in 2025, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and a couple other schmoes that I don't know their names of. But you got the star power, right? You got the guy that everybody wants right now, Pedro Pascal. He's playing Reed Richards. You got Vanessa Kirby playing Susan Storm, which I'm a big fan of hers. I really like her. And then some other schmoes playing Johnny and the Ting. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Fantastic Four. Like, to me, they're like I don't know, third or fourth string characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But then again, when the MCU was launched, they used Iron Man, who was like a second string, you know, character in Marvel. So, they have an opportunity to sort of like capitalize on that, kind of make the not so good characters popular. Even though I would say like right now, because Fantastic Four had three movies before, that two of them were received all rightly, one was not, that there is still, like, I guess you could say more of a thirst for a cinematic version of Fantastic Four now than there ever was for Iron Man back in 2008. So I think that there is a thirst for the Fantastic Four out there in pop culture and what people want to see. I still don't really care for them at all, to be honest. The trailer was a good trailer, though. Like, it was a good, like, introduction. I enjoyed how they really are emphasizing, like, their importance as a team, being the Fantastic Four, even so much as calling themselves like a family. I enjoy that quite a bit. I think that's good. I think that builds chemistry, and you can already tell, like, the characters, like, all the characters to me seem pretty good, like, interesting characters, even though that they're already, been played by other actors many times. I think that the trailer's strongest point the strongest part of the trailer is the characters themselves. Like, they all seem likable guys, have with their personalities, different traits. That right off the bat, you got, Reed Richards bringing up a chalkboard from the ground, like, oh, Mr. Smart Guy. And then you got the Ting, who's like a chef, and then you got Johnny Storm, who's just like like a slacker type of kid. And then Invisible Girl is like Mr. Fantastic's wife or something like that. So you got the whole cast established on who they are and what they're about, and I think that's the strongest point in this whole trailer. It's a little goofy. It's a little it seems like in this movie they could be going back to the old school, but maybe not so old school Marvel style of comedy, which I'm always afraid for them to go back into that, because they've had so much success with it, but also so much failure, either way, I'm not too, I'm a little, concerned of how much it will have. It definitely seems like kind of a goofier movie, but it could be more serious. I mean, I guess. This movie is also taking place in like what seems like a futuristic, but like with the 60s aesthetic world. There's like a robot, kind of like, like an AI robot, just kind of like, taking care of this Reed Richards' house or something like that, or the Baxter building. I can't remember, but like, it's like a old timey-ish theme, which is cool. But obviously this is not in the same universe as the current MCU, which leads me to my biggest gripe, my ultimate gripe with this movie, existing in the first place, is, okay, you're setting this up to tie into the actual MCU. How will this happen? When's it going to happen? Is this movie going to be just a big setup? Possibly. How much multiverses is going to be in this movie? Probably a lot. I'm over the multiverses gimmick. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Like, it just gives these studios a reason to make crossovers and adding new characters that they are barely introducing, to put them in the Avengers, to make it bigger than it's ever been before. But with this one, I just feel like they're going to have to do this all in like one movie. to bring them into the current MCU. And like, how are they going to do that? Are they just going to build a portal like, oh, I'm in your world now. Hi, how are you? I'm here. Is that how it's going to be? Like, this movie already to me is like, it looks good, but it also just seems like a total like project to not tell a good story, but to shoehorn these guys in the MCU within like a 2.5 hour time frame to do it. And I don't like that. I don't like how movies are set up like that. I don't like how Marvel tends to make these movies that their sole purpose is to be connective tissue to make them into the MCU. Like you see with the Infinity Saga, while there were some movies that were set up, most of them, were able to, most of them, not all of them, but most of them were able to give you a good story in these movies to make it not just connective tissue, but connective tissue with a good story to fit their overarching storylines and arcs and have them complete at the conclusion of the saga, so that is a thing that to me in this movie, in this trailer, does not seem like we're going to get a whole great story, if I'm being honest. In the trailer also, Galactus is seen, the back of his head is seen overlooking New York City. So if he is like the big bad guy in this movie, with Marvel's track record with villains is they're probably going to wipe his ass out in this movie. Now Galactus is like a big figure, right? He's a big like bad guy for like not just the Fantastic Four, but I think the Avengers as well. So if you wipe him off the floor and he's chalked, then you just have to probably introduce Doctor Doom in this movie as well, which is going to be already confirmed as what's his name? Robert Downey Jr., right? He'll be in this movie for sure. I just don't know if this movie is going to be more of a story-driven movie, like have a good story, or just be a universe-driving movie to plant seeds, to make things happen so it makes more sense in the future movies that these guys show up here and there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to be good. The characters look cool. Don't get me wrong, but it has a lot to do in order for it all to make sense in this current MCU that Marvel is trying to save at the moment. And I don't know if it's going to be enough to save it, I'll be honest. Like I said, I mean, I'm not a huge fan or fan at all of the Fantastic Four, so I don't really give a fuck. I don't care. But a lot of people seem to care, so maybe I'll see what they think about this movie, and maybe I will refine my opinion. And not my opinion, but refine my desire to see it, and maybe I'll wind up seeing it. I don't know. But right now, at this moment, I'm just like, seems like setup, seems like filler, seems like cool characters. I'll give them that. But the story, I'm not really seeing a story much right here. And now this is a teaser trailer, so I'm not really supposed to be getting a story yet. I'm supposed to be getting a vibe of the movie, but right now the vibe is like, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be getting much of a story in this. I'll be honest. But that could change in the next couple trailers. That could completely change. But right now, I'm just not super excited, I'll be honest. I'm just like, okay, cool. We're adding the Fantastic Four. How is this going to make sense? I don't know. Will this fit? I don't know. Will they return from after this movie? I don't know. I mean, we could say, yeah, they will. But hey, Marvel also made the Eternals. They haven't been back in like 3 years. None of the characters. So there's always that to compare it to, like introduce a new team of characters to the universe that could play a huge, part in the universe, what they're doing, the stories as well, and then never have them again. I mean, I don't want to say it's going to happen again, but it's happened in the past, and I have to look at what happened in the past and not forget about it. And then when it does happen again, if it does with Fantastic Four, not be disappointed because, hey, know your history. If it's happened before, it's going to happen again. I'm just saying. some more cinema talk, because why not? And this movie I'm about to talk about. I was not gonna. I didn't have a didn't have a reason for it to even exist. Thought about seeing it in theaters, then kind of got scared to go watch it in theaters. Was not impressed with the trailers leading up to it. The first one, at least. The second one, I was like, cool, this is all right. I might see it. Saw I was getting some cool, positive, not terrible reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, maybe this is actually good. Maybe this is cool. But unfortunately, guys, Cinema Talk this week is not about cinema. It's about a bad movie. It's about a really bad movie that I saw on Paramount Plus on my iPhone. And, you're probably thinking, why would you watch a movie on your iPhone? I would not. But I was very scared of putting this movie on my big screen TV. Having people walk by and be like, why are you watching this shit? To see if it's any good, to make sure it's good. That way I can tell people to watch it, because I like spreading the word of movies and cinema. Like, if something's good, I want to spread the word and get people to watch it. I can't do that unless I watch it for myself. So I decided to watch Gladiator 2. Put it on my phone. Was like, let's check this out. It's on Paramount Plus. I saw it because I saw an ad for Paramount Plus on, I believe it was a couple Saturdays ago during the AFC Championship game, or Sunday. During the AFC Championship game, Paramount Plus ad came on. It said that it had Gladiator 2. I'm like, all right, there it is. There's my opportunity. Let's get it. Let's watch it before they take it away. So I watched it. And then I looked at Rotten Tomatoes. I looked at Rotten Tomatoes and saw what these industry, like, simping so-called critics gave Gladiator 2. At the moment right now, after its theatrical run, Gladiator 2 has a 71% on the tomato meter and an 82% audience score. This is a bad movie. I'm here to tell you right now that Gladiator 2 not only should not exist, which after watching this, should not exist whatsoever. Like, this movie is an abomination. Ridley Scott should be ashamed of himself for even creating this crap, for putting this out, for marketing it, and for tainting, I literally mean tainting, the Gladiator universe. I won't call it a franchise. I'll call it a universe. No. The Gladiator story. Tainting and pissing all over the Gladiator story. The Gladiator epic has been pissed on from the creator himself, Ridley Scott. It's a disgrace. He should be ashamed of himself for making this movie. This movie is bad from start to finish, people. I mean, first of all, the movie is so dull. It's so boring. It's so anticlimactic. Even the big battle in the beginning is boring. It is horribly choreographed. It is poorly executed. I would have to be emotionally invested in the main character to want to root for him, but the main character himself, Lucius, who is the driving force of this film, right? He is the driving character. We watch movies and read books and watch shows not just for the scenery, not just for the events, but for the characters. And this is where Ridley makes his biggest mistake in this movie, is his main character is so bad, boring, inspired, soulless, just kind of there. And you have a lineage to play with. Like, he is Maximus's son. why don't you make him more of an engaging character? Like, what happened here? Like, he is like the one of the worst parts of the movie. I can't tell you how much they like let down like a 20-year legacy of like you have all the you have the blueprint to make this a good movie. Like, you could flesh out the character so much more from the material that you had in the previous film, but no, they did not choose that whatsoever. They went for shock value. They went for, look how cool Rome looks, look how cool the armor looks, look how cool the armies and the sword fights are, which aren't that cool. And they totally just forgot about character in this movie. Not just with the guy who's playing Lucius, but Pedro Pascal's character, Lucius's mom's character, Denzel Washington's character, the two fuckos who play the emperors of Rome. Some of the worst casting and some of the worst acting on screen I've ever seen in depicting ancient time emperors. Like just like everything about it was just, character wise was bad. Was just straight up garbage. Like, it was hard to watch at multiple times in this movie for me. I just could not wrap my head around, like, this movie already should not exist. Please prove me wrong. As minute by minute ticked by, it just got simply worse and worse and worse. And I was like, Denzel Washington is acting like he is not even in this time period. Like, he is like arrogant. He's good at this role that he plays, I guess, the way he plays him. But like, at every time I'm seeing him on screen, like, bro, the way you're talking and the way you're acting, like, it don't belong in this time period, man. Like, what's going on here? Did anybody not read this script and was like, this man is supposed to be playing a high-ranking senator in the Roman Senate, and he's going to be talking like Denzel. Exactly like that. Denzel's not going to act like he is a senator in ancient Rome. No, he's going to be acting like he is in Training Day. Who the fuck allowed that to be made? Who allowed that to be filmed, to waste someone's time, multiple people's time, to waste film, battery, and money, and allowed that to happen? And put that on the big screen. I mean, I don't know who did this, who allowed this, but this is a sin, a monumental cinematic sin that has occurred with Gladiator 2 and has tainted and disrespected and pissed all over the Gladiator epic. I just don't know why this was made. And I don't understand how these people thought that this movie was any good. I mean, tomato meter, a 71%? Oh man, I just don't understand like what these people were watching. I mean, okay, so I can't even look at the critic ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, they're like blocked. I click on it and it says consensus. I'll read this. Consensus. Echoing its predecessor while upping the blood sport and camp, Gladiator 2 is an action extravaganza that derives much of its strength and honor from Denzel Washington's scene-stealing performance. I wouldn't go that far, guys. I would not go that far whatsoever. Like, again, he's like acting like he's in Training Day. I guess it's good, but make no mistake, it doesn't belong in a movie called Gladiator 2. I don't think that these people understand like what makes sense and what doesn't make sense, especially for a viewer who clearly doesn't know history whatsoever, clearly has never learned about, anything of history, and is just like, oh, Denzel's acting like he's in Training Day. I love it. It's brilliant. Like, first of all, you are an industry simp at this moment. Let me see some of these positive reviews though. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to read like the synopsis of their positive reviews. This is on IMDb via Metascore. Total Film says, not perfect and not a patch on the original film, but the magic of Ridley Scott's direction and Denzel Washington's performance elevates Gladiator 2 into the epic spectacle it needs to be, but best to manage your expectations in comparison to the Oscar-winning film. That automatically tells me that this is not even close to being as good as the original, so why does it even exist? Why? You know exactly what Gladiator 1 is, a masterpiece, Oscar-winning film. So why make this crap when you know it's not even going to be held up to the test of time to the original? Why? Why? And why more than 20 years later? Who let this happen? Who did? I don't know. IGN gave it an 80%. Let's see what these idiots had to say. Gladiator 2 finds strength and honor in the well-worn armor of its predecessor. Paul Mescal is adept in the Bella board hero role, going toe-to-toe with not only the delightfully deranged Joseph Quinn and Fred Hetchinger, but also with Denzel Washington, who's Mercial Macrinus practically screams, "Are you not entertained?" at the audience every second he's on screen. Does that sound like something you want to watch? Paul Mescal is adept? I mean, no, thank you. Like, I want the strong lead character, especially knowing who he is, Lucius, the boy from the first movie, to be a good character. And he's not in this movie at all. In fact, it's like you can tell this kid is trying to act good. He's trying to act like I am the son of Maximus. With his mannerisms, with the way he looks, the way he walks, and how he beats everybody up. It's like, yeah, but like there's no emotion with this guy in the movie that you're just like, I don't care, bro. I don't care. Like, the way it looks is cool, but like there's nothing here. It's like the modern day Star Wars movies. They look cool, they sound cool, there's fights, it's grand, sweeping epicness, but there ain't nothing there to back it up. It's just all eye candy. It's just all shock value. Like, hey, look at this, look at that. There's fucking they fight a fucking giant rhino that looks like it could have been in the Ice Age. Not the way it looked, but the size was like, Jesus Christ, like the size of a tank. I'm like, where the fuck did they get this from? What the fuck is this? There's a scene where Lucius is fighting hand-to-hand combat with these monkey type baboon-like animals. And I was like looking at them like, they don't look like baboons. They look like some kind of like weird-ass like creature. Like almost a demonic creature. And it was all CGI, so it looked terrible. But I'm like thinking to myself, like, a lot of this movie is practical, but the CGI, when they have it, is fucking awful in this movie. I mean, for Christ's sakes, there was also a scene where they do like a water battle in the Coliseum where they have fucking sharks in the Coliseum. Now, I think that might be accurate and true, but it still looked like shit. It didn't look real whatsoever. So my point is, this movie overall is just a bad movie. A movie that proved my point, should not have been made, wasn't strong enough to even compete with the original. I just read you 2 snippets of articles, both saying they don't match. They don't even come close to the first film. So why the fuck are we even making this shit? You know, if we're not going to hold ourselves to the standards of what we've created with Gladiator 1, which is a masterpiece and an Oscar winner and a great movie and should not have been touched again, why are we going to make something that's not even close to that? In modern film. Why? Who cares? So yeah, I'm ticked off. I'm disappointed. I wasted 2.5 hours of my life watching this movie just to feel a whole lot of emptiness. And Ridley Scott, you should be ashamed of yourself. Like, shame on you for making this movie. You made it. It's you directed it. You brought this world back. You could have done another story that is nowhere near close to the Gladiator, tale epic. And yet you chose to go back and make a story that is worth purging our brains of. Like, we should just purge that movie from the archives. Like, that should just not have existed in the first place. I'm sorry. It's not worth it. It's not worthy enough to exist. Like, there should not be a box set of Gladiator and Gladiator 2. That should not exist. If that exists, I mean, it's just, it's sad. It's pitiful. Yeah, it was horrible. Could not recommend it to anybody. I was at work and I was saying, like, hey bro, you know what you should not watch? You should not watch Gladiator 2. Like, don't watch it. It's such a bad movie. That's going to be it for me today, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.